Right now, Bitcoin is breaking out exactly as predicted in yesterday's update from this 2-week-long mega pattern. But more importantly, there is something literally 20 times more ginormous happening right now. And even bigger than all of that is happening right now as we speak. But it's absolutely not all sunshine and lollipops, as this right here is a flashing signal you simply do not want to ignore. So sit down, rub your belly, and prepare to gobble, because it's turkey time. Right now, the Bitcoin price is doing exactly as expected, but guys, something even bigger just happened, and it's just very important. We're going to be looking at 3 absolutely essential things on the crypto charts, but specifically, there is something I need to show you on traditional markets here, because I think a lot of people are going to be caught by surprise by this, and as well, a little special surprise at the end of the video. But I want to start off taking a look at this. So obviously, Bitcoin's price is up a little bit today. Actually, right now, retesting the 21-day moving average for the first time since it fell below it here back on February 8th. Concretely, really just dunked below it. Now, this is a really make-or-break decision, make-or-break moment, because it's very likely we run into resistance here. It's very likely that this breakout does not fully complete, and I want to tell you why. But first, let's take a look at this. So we were looking at this pattern yesterday, right? We talked about this descending double wedgie right here, and in fact, we have begun to break out above it. We have come into a little resistance right here, as expected, kind of just like where the last, very long time, multiple weeks, going all the way even back to about a month ago. This very clear zone right here, kind of like the middle of this this pattern, right around 23,000, where Bitcoin was trading literally for the last month, since January 21st, pretty much. Now, we have broken out here, but I want to be a little cautious because something bigger is happening, and that's this. If we take a look at the stock market, the S&P 500, SPX, this is something I haven't seen anyone talk about yet, but if they haven't, I'm sure everyone will be talking about it in just moments here. This is something that we've seen happen on the MACD and the RSI every time the SPX has gotten to its top and gotten rejected. Now, I want to highlight one thing. We are above this trend line for the very first time. So all the times that the SPX got rejected here, it was as we were getting rejected at this trend line. Now we're above it. So is this going to be different? Are we going to be seeing something different this time? Or in fact, is this, again, as I've been talking about, the pullback where we ultimately hold here around 39.50 or a little bit above 39, but keep in mind, even still going below 4,000, is this where we're going to get a pullback, potentially validate a breakout, validate a multi-month relief, validate a multi-month pump, and then continue? But first, as I just said, it would require basically that we get dumped on first, right here. And I want to be honest, this is where things really start to tickle my pickle, because if we take a look right here, the MACD, we've seen this happen. Exactly. Actually, let me zoom back in on this. We've seen this happen with this bearish cross here that has indicated literal tops every time. And we've seen the RSI, again, very similar cross right here, kind of in the same range. Not quite as high this time. I mean, as high as the last time, but the 2 times before it, actually, you know what? It is basically identical. The more I look at it, it basically is exactly identical. And what that means is that if it does what it did the last 4 times, we're going to be getting a pullback on the SPX, which also would most likely mean a pullback on Bitcoin. So even though so many technical patterns on Bitcoin are playing out, you guys know we cannot simply just look at Bitcoin. We have to factor in what the stock market is doing, right? It would be crazy if I would get on here and just look at Bitcoin or just look at altcoins and ignore everything else. Absolutely, I cannot do that. So absolutely, we need to be paying attention to that as well. The DXY is having a little bit of a move to the upside today, finally potentially heading up to maybe 105. We're right at about 103.9, the highest we've been basically since this downtrend on January 5th. So at least the last month, the DXY is finally maybe starting to have some movement to the upside, which is exactly what I talked about yesterday. Additionally, this though is huge. The macro falling wedge that we've been talking about for months. I believe we first started talking about it back in like September of last year. Well before even the biggest of the moon boys here, is that we potentially are having a back test here. This also comes at exactly kind of this previous top, this previous resistance around 21. And we're potentially, I think this pullback, again, could get a little bigger. Now, in the very short term, we've had a little bit of a mini breakout, but guys, we have to factor in what the SPX is doing and what it will do. Oh, and also, I might as well just take the time to say this. There are so many spam comments below, and I'm going to try a new technique today, maybe to try and mitigate that. Do not respond to them, whether it says Maz or Amazon, or there's literally, it's always like 3 letters followed by a couple numbers. So like KXY1000 or like, DST 695 or something. And it'll have like 100, 200 comments all spammed within like a 2-minute period. And they put a bunch of fake likes that they look like very legitimate. They're not, okay? So do not get scammed by those. Simply ignore them. They're very annoying. I know. I understand. But anyway, yeah, we see this happening here. And additionally, guys, this is huge. On the daily chart, Bitcoin, during this relief, as you can see right here, in the middle of the relief that we saw back in 2019 right here, we had this cross. And we just got this cross as well right here, basically in the exact same positioning. And you see what happened after we got the cross. It went on a very nice run. It happened during this consolidation after the initial breakout, just like right now. So again, keep your eyes on that. Bitcoin itself is showing many bullish possibilities, and that's why I'm a little torn here, because Bitcoin is showing me that it wants to absolutely explode. But the stock market is showing me that it might go into a multi-week dump. So what's going to happen, right? That's what we have to really try to navigate here, because it's not black and white. It's not simple. This is a very complex thing here. But at this very second, is a retest of 23,000 possible? Well, we're only $150 away from that. That could happen like that. So be very aware of that. But again, keep in mind, we have a lot of macro patterns here. We have this gigantic, very long wedge that we're potentially in the midst of having a multi-month relief rally, but is a dump required first, as we're testing this 21-day moving average again right here. Okay, as we're also breaking out of this 2-week shorter term pattern here. In addition, again, as we see very big similarities here from the past. And as a quick little side note, I have launched, which I will be trying to update daily on both YouTube, and I've started a TikTok for this, Tyler S. Magoo Review, both the same name on TikTok and YouTube. It's a different channel. I'll leave a link in the description below with absolutely phenomenal reviews of food. This is just a little side project. I think it's absolutely going to be very exciting and very big. You simply cannot trade successfully on an empty belly, and that is the motto I will live with and live for forever. So you can check me out. These absolutely time-sensitive alerts. Take advantage of absolutely massive bonuses with BITGET, BitGet, and FEMX below. Specifically with BITGET, remember the copy trade feature, the new updated one just went live, so if you're interested in that. Also zero fees when you sign up with my links to BITGET and BitGet below. And as well, those links for the my second little goof channel of food reviews on YouTube, a different YouTube channel, and on TikTok, Tyler S. Magoo Review, both the same name, are live now. Without any further ado, that's it for me.